Okay, so this is my president, Destiny Evans. She is the president of Alpha Phi Omega. It is a community service-based fraternity organization here on Valdosta State University's campus. And we're just gonna be asking her a few questions just about her leadership skills and just how she likes being a leader on the Valdosta State campus. I can start with the first question. So the first question I have for you is, what qualities do you feel you possess that make you a qualified leader?
Um, some of the skills that I feel like I possess is definitely just understanding people and coming down to the space that they're in to get the source of the problem or the root of the problem in terms of communication, as well as I would say problem solving, because whether or not I can't solve the problem, I'll try to direct somebody to somebody to someone that can solve the problem.
Okay, I'll go ahead and ask you your next question. How has it been being a leader during a global pandemic?
It has definitely been very challenging. I can honestly say that it exposed me to a lot of different just obstacles when it comes to communicating with people, and that's just their past experiences and their current experiences that we know and don't know, within the home and outside of the home, and just seeing that on a large scale in terms of the whole world going through the same thing. It really transitions you to kind of view people in a different kind of way when in terms of getting something done within an organization. So definitely caring about somebody has been more important than any other task operated goal, first.
And so for my question, I was curious, as a leader, how do you make sure that everyone's voice is heard and you make compromises so that everyone in your organization is represented?
Honestly, I feel like just our age group and being developing leaders, what you do is give everybody that room to be heard and make sure that it is a safe space, and you watch people grow and to develop into that person, and you encourage them to grow and develop into that person, because not everybody possesses the skill to be outright and be just so outspoken like we all expect. But if you give that grounds and that space to grow into that person, I feel like that's the better outcome, because they get to mold into the person they want to be.
All right, and my next question is, what are some mistakes you feel you've made while you were in your leadership position, and how do you feel you've used those mistakes to make you a better leader?
That's a good question. I feel like the mistakes I have definitely made was compare everybody's life to mine, if that makes sense. Like, I have a certain idea of work ethic and communication, but like I said before, I wasn't meeting people where they were, and the pandemic kind of exposed that, because there's some people that don't have food, or some people that are going through stuff financially, or their parents passed away, and understanding meeting people at where they are, you can kind of figure out where we need to go from there. But when I just have a structured system, I'm kind of ignoring the levels that everybody is, and I'm just ignoring the ability for them to get to that certain standpoint at a certain time when they may be far behind.
All right. My next question for you is, what are some issues that you faced as a leader during COVID-19?
Some issues I would say is just keeping people motivated. And I feel like that's just something that isn't in a lot of people's control. It was hard to go through, but definitely something I struggled with.
And my next question is, what goals does your organization have, and how do you use your position and lead your organization to accomplish these goals?
So just to reiterate, you said our organization's goals.
Yes.
So for one of our biggest organization goals is to just develop leaders within the campus community or the actual community, you know, our fraternity, in households, everything like that. And a way that we try to make that happen is like, kind of like I said earlier, you just make that space for it. You kind of just cater to what people need, and then we work from there. Try to like just meet people halfway, and then if they want to, you kind of figure out through that what kind of leader you can mold that person to be or help them be. You learn the basis, and then you help people flourish in their own direction by getting to know them the best way you possibly can. So that those two combinations is how, you know, Alpha Phi Omega tries to just make leaders in the community.
And my final question is, how do you resolve conflict amongst your organization?
Resolving conflict, it all depends on the situation, but the general way we try to resolve conflict is usually chain of command, just because chain of command is important to us, because one person may not understand what you're saying just because people, you know, dissect information differently. But if we go through a series of people and try to figure out the same problem, you know, we can get a kind of understanding from different people's perspective.
All right. My final question for you is, name a leader that has inspired you and why.
Definitely Maya Angelou, because I'm a poet myself, and just reading her poems, there were so many things that she never knew was going to be triumphs, from little tiny things in your life, from, you know, developing yourself as a person to going over, you know, just grieving the loss of somebody. Every triumph, she felt like it was the most important thing to express it to somebody, because you don't know that one little thing that was so easy to you could be groundbreaking for somebody else. So that's why it's like, it's just so important for me to just follow everything that she feels in terms of ideology, because meeting somebody where they are, you'll be surprised at what they can teach you. And you're thinking that meeting somebody where you are is kind of devaluing yourself at times, because it's hard to get out of the state you're in and meet somebody where they are after you've been busy and doing everything that you're doing. But it's really beautiful to get back to earth, or different perspectives of earth, and see what people got going on.
Okay, so my last question is, in your opinion, what is the most important aspect of being a leader?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I think the most important aspect of being a leader, I don't know if this counts, but just acknowledging the role that you play in society. Like, when you're a leader, you have to understand that whether it's a college org or being the president, you're representing something, and it's bigger than yourself. So just stepping into that role, like, for example, I'm a representative for Alpha Phi Omega, but I'm representative for the Black people at Valdosta State. I'm a representative for Black women. I'm a representative for natural girls. I'm a representative for so many things. And just being a leader and developing your voice, you're going to have all of those stigmas and stereotypes behind you. So make sure you carry them well, because, you know, you deserve it. And that's what people need to see, because, you know, so like I said, there's so many perspectives in the world. You want to make sure that that impression is pure and just from your heart. So, you know, I feel like that's the most important aspect. And it boosts you when, you know, things are going really sour. Just remembering the person that you know, strive to be. But that's it.
All right. Well, those were our questions for you. We want to thank you so much for participating in this interview. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Destiny. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was awesome having you.